It is that time of the year again, where the leaves have fallen, and it's way too cold outside, and everyone has squash in their homes for some reason. That is right, it's Thanksgiving season. But instead of teaching you how to make a turkey or a ham, we're gonna be a little bit more unconventional. So let's go bake an apple pie. First things first, if we're talking pie, we need to make some crust.
Take 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt and mix until well combined. Grate 2 sticks of frozen, unsalted butter into the flour mixture. Give the butter a bit of a toss so that it's all coated with the flour mix.
Slowly add ice cold water by tablespoons to the mixture. After about 10 tablespoons, try to knead the mixture into a ball. We want the dough to just barely hold its shape, so if you need more water, don't be afraid to add some. How much water you're going to need to add depends on 1,000 different things, so just keep on adding water until you've got a dough that barely holds its shape.
Once your dough starts to hold together, put it on a floured area, a cutting board or a table works fine, and give it a few kneads, but don't over knead it, or else you'll end up with a tough pie crust. After a few kneads, wrap the dough in plastic wrap and let it cool in the fridge for half an hour.
Once it's nice and chilly, take the dough out and cut it in half. Half of it is going back in the plastic wrap and into the fridge, and the other half you're going to roll out on a floured surface using a floured rolling pin to around an inch bigger than what your pie plate is. This half will be the bottom crust, and the other half will be the top crust. Once you've got it all nice and rolled out, transfer it to your pie plate. Cut off any excess dough.
To avoid a soggy, gross bottom crust, we're gonna blind bake this sucker. Cover the top of the crust with aluminum foil, then place some kind of pie weight in the foil. We used the classic weight, rice. Then drop the crust in a 400-degree oven for around 13 minutes or until lightly browned. Remove the crust, take off the foil weight, then poke the bottom of the crust with a fork a bunch of times. It's called docking.
Once you've docked the crust, replace the foil weight and place it in the oven again for another 8-ish minutes. We want it to be a little more golden brown. When you take it out, you can discard the foil weight and poke any crust puff-ups you might get.
Now, let's talk apples. We actually used apples from the school to make our filling. Or at least we tried to. We didn't have enough from the school's apple trees, so we had to use a few store-bought apples. If you go the store-bought route, use Granny Smith or Honeycrisp apples. You're going to need around 6 to 7 cups of apples.
Peel, core, and cut your apples, dropping the pieces into a large bowl. You're going to want to cut them to be around half an inch. Add some lemon juice to the bowl and toss the apples around so they get all nice and coated.
In a separate bowl, mix together half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and some lemon zest. When that's all nice and combined, add it to the apples and toss them around until all the apples have some sugar on them.
Fill your bottom pie crust with the apple filling. You want to fill the pie crust to be a bit more than the top of the pie plate, as the apples will cook down in the oven. Once your bottom crust is filled, get the other half of the dough from the fridge. Roll it out on a floured surface with the floured rolling pin to around an inch larger than the pie plate, and then drape it over the apple filling.
Wet your fingers and moisten the place of the bottom crust where it touches your top crust. Once it has all been moistened, take a fork and press down around the rim of the crust repeatedly until the entire rim has been pressed down. Cut a few holes near the middle of the top crust to act as vents.
Finally, place the pie into a 425-degree oven for around 40 to 50 minutes to cook. Once cooked, let the pie cool for 4 hours, then cut right in and enjoy.